Hello. Yeah, hi. A very good evening to everyone. I
Hi.
hope my voice is loud and clear to all of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I think we can just yeah. I think we have most of the people in, so we can start now. So let's just start it, right? So before I move ahead, so we like to discuss anything, right? Like of the date functions that we did yesterday and the text functions we have covered up till now. Okay. See, now today, what we're going to do is we are going to start off with the logical functions. Now, in logical functions, we have the functions like if, we have and, we have or, and then we are going to discuss on the sum if s, countif s. Okay. So, before even I just start, so I will just, I'll come to that. Okay. So now if we start with if function, right? Now, if is a function that we have in Excel. This is used to check for a condition. Okay, like for example, if I say I have the data of some students A, B, C, D, and this is the score that they made. He scored 70, this guy scored 90, this guy scored 60, and this guy scored 40. So what I want to do is a person who scored more than 70, I want to give him the grade A, right? If suppose someone scored between, suppose I say 50 to 70, we want to give him the grade B. And if a person scored less than 50, we want to give him the grade as C. Okay, this is the grading that we have to give. Or maybe I just right now just take two things. If a person scored more than 70, then he should be given grade A. And if the person scored less than equal to 70, the person should be given as grade B. I'll just use two right now, not more than. Okay. So let's try to do it. I'll say equal to if. Now, wherever you have to check a condition, this is where you will use the if formula. Now, what is the condition? So when you use the if formula, it is going to take three inputs: logical test, value if true, and value if false. Right? So what you do is, first of all, you give your condition, what that condition is. I'm saying that if the score made by a person is more than 70, this is my condition, right? If a person has scored more than 70, this is my condition. If the condition is true, if the value is true, I want to give him the grade A. Otherwise, if the condition fails, if this condition is not true, that means if the score is not more than 70, what will be that in that case? It will be less than or equal to 70. That will be this. So I'm saying if the condition is false, I'm saying that he should get the grade B.
Amit, we can't see your screen.
Sorry, class. So I think I got just disconnected somehow. Yeah. So I was over here. So I was saying that, if I'm saying that if the condition is that if the score is more than 70, if the condition is true, he should get A grade. Otherwise, he should get B grade. Right? So now I hit enter. Now see, this condition was false because my condition was that the score should be more than 70. But it was not, so he got B grade. And if I copy the formula down, now I can see this guy is having more than 70, so he gets A. And these two people again get B. Am I making sense to all of you? This if condition that we have created.
Yeah, the
And
value if false part, can I assume like it's like an else part?
sorry,
The value, the condition you are giving in the if formula, right? Only if condition satisfied, it is giving the value if true, whatever we are giving. And can I
right.
assume like value if false as an else part for the if, just to understand?
That is an else part. If the condition is false,
Okay.
so basically, if you see over here, you give first the condition,
Mm-hmm.
and first output is if the value is true, what is the output,
Okay.
and else if the condition is false, then what should be the output.
Okay. Yeah, this way I can relate. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So all of you, do one thing. Now the superstore data that you have, right, orders data that you have, what you have to do over here is just try to come over here and on this now create a formula over here that if the profit is greater than suppose I am saying the profit is more than 5,000, output should be good, and if it is less than equal to 5,000, it should be bad. Please create this. Okay, done. Okay. So what I will do, I will say equal to if now this number, if the profit is more, if the condition is more than 5,000, output is good, and otherwise it is bad. Then then I can just double click on this and the formula will be applied and I can calculate that. Now all of you calculate the incentive. So what we want to do is, if profit is greater than 5,000, if the profit is greater than 5,000, incentive is 10% of sales, and if the profit is less than 5,000, incentive is 5% of sales. So can you please try to create this incentive status now? Yep, anyone who has done it? Incentive. Right, so how will I do it? I will say equal to if, what is my condition? I have to check the profit. If the profit is more than 5,000, right? If the condition is true, what do I want? I want 10% of the sales. 10% means 0.1 multiplied by whatever is the sale, right? And if the condition gets false, in that case, it is 5%, that is 0.05 multiplied by the sales, correct? So I am saying if the profit is more than 5,000, I want 10% into whatever the sale is. And if the condition is false, I want 5% into whatever the sale is. That's it. So now if you see it should be 5%, and this is more, so it should be 10%. So let's apply this and we can see this now. Okay. I will just clear to all of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. See, now you know what we will do is, in this if formula that we have discussed, now the important part is there is something that is called as nested if. Nested if means if condition within a if condition. Okay, this is something that we understand by the term nested if. If condition inside another if condition. Like for example, I am saying these are the students. I am saying if a person scored more than 70, he should be given grade A. If a person has scored more than 60, he should be given the grade as B. And if the person has scored more than, if the person has scored less than 60, he should be given as less than equal to 60. He should be given the grade as C. Right? If you see right now in this case, what we have is we have three conditions. Okay. Now let's try to grade him. Grade. Are you all clear on the requirement? We are saying if the score is more than 70, he should be given the grade as A. If the score is as in between 60 to 70, it should be B. Otherwise, it should be C. Correct? So what we do is we say equal to if. Now I can only give one condition. Okay, now I am saying if this score is more than 70, what should happen? I want to give him the grade as A. Okay. Now if the condition gets failed, if the condition turns out to be false, now what I want to do is I want to check it again. Was that score more than 60? Right? Like if the first condition failed, that means the score was not more than 70. So if the condition fails, I am saying, let me check again. Was it more than 60? So I will use my if condition again. Now just try to see the logic over here, right? So I have just one condition. When the condition is true, I get this output. And when the condition gets false, I again set up my if formula. I again create my if condition. Now this time I say, is this score more than 60? Right? And if the condition comes out to be true, I will say he will now get a B grade. And otherwise, if this condition also fails, now that means the number is neither more than 70, number is not more than 60. So that means it will be less than equal to 60 only. That means it is C, right? So this is how I can now create my three conditions. Okay. I hope you were able to get it. Please try this. Yes, sir. Are you able to do it? If anyone has any questions, you can please let me know. Okay. So if you come back to the same table of orders, now please make a profit status again. And this time the profit status is that if the profit is more than 5,000, output should be excellent. If the profit is greater than 3,000, good. And if the profit is greater than 0, okay. And if the profit is less than 0, it's a loss. So can you please create this column now? Okay. Harshad has done it. Others? Deepa, Divya, Vijay, Yash, Vijay. Please, all of you are here. Okay. Okay, I hope all of you are able to do it. Anyone having any issues, so I can discuss. Otherwise, I can go ahead. Right. So in this case, basically, you have to build additional conditions, right? So you would have said if the profit is greater than 5,000, output is excellent, and in case if the condition false, you use if condition again. Now inside this if again, now your condition is you are checking is it more than 3,000. So you say that is this number more than 3,000, and the condition is true, you are saying it as good. And if the condition is failing, again you are checking for that part, you put if condition again, and you now again check is this number more than 0. If that is true, that means it's an okay, otherwise it's a loss. So you get it. So this is a loss. It's an excellent profit, good profit, excellent profit, okay profit, and again some losses. Okay. Now, if I come back over here, we have two more functions that we are going to discuss, that is and or. Right? And or, these are something that we use if you have to test for more than one condition, right? When you have to test for more than one condition. Okay, and means both the conditions should be true, and or means at least one condition must be true. So this is what we understand by and or. Okay, so in the case of and, both the conditions have to be true, and in the case of or, at least one condition has to be true. Okay, like for example, I have students with me. I have their English score and their math score. Now A scored in English, he scored 80, and in this he scored, suppose say 85. And this guy, he scored 82 over here, and he scored uh, suppose 90, suppose 60 over here, and this guy scored 60 over here and 85 over here, and this guy scored 70 and 72. Okay, see, now what we want to do is, now the college authorities, the school authorities, they have said if a student has scored, right, if student has scored more than 80 in both subjects, he should get grade A, otherwise grade B. Getting it? So what we are saying is, we are checking for two conditions, that if the person is more than 80 in English also and maths also, he will be getting a grade A, otherwise grade B. So technically what we are saying is, he should have more than 80 score in both the subjects, right? So I want that this should also be more than 80 and this should also be more than 80. So I have two conditions and both the conditions should be true, right? Both the conditions should be true. So now what I will do is I will be using and. Now and is something you and or. Now these are two formulas that we will always use with if condition only, right? I will say equal to if. Now in this logical test, I have to test two conditions. Now I will say and. Now you can give two conditions inside it. First condition, comma, second condition. My first condition is that this should be more than 80, comma. Second condition is that this should also be more than 80. Now, if both the conditions are true, right, value if true, if this comes out to be as true, I want the output to be as grade A, otherwise grade B. So now for the first student, both the conditions are true, and remaining three students, although in English he had more than 80, but maths it was less than 80. Although in for the student C, in English it was less than 80 and in maths it was more than 80, again B. And for the D, in both the cases it was less than 80. So he then was getting B only. So this is how you use the AND formula. Am I making sense to all of you? You had to check two conditions and the both the conditions should be true. So what I did was I said if and. So I used and condition because and gives me a flexibility where I can test for more than one condition if I want, and both the conditions should be true. So please try this. Done? Okay. See now just the opposite of this and is or, that at least one condition should be true. Now I am saying if the student has scored more than 80 in at least one subject, either in English or in maths, he should be given the grade A. otherwise grade B, right? So in that case, what we do is we use or. For example, if I come up over here and I say equal to if my condition is two conditions, so I will say or. My first condition is if he has scored more than 80 in this, or he has scored more than 80 in this. If one of them is true, he should get a grade A, otherwise grade B. You see now, three of the students now get grade A and one of them gets grade B. Okay. So now this is how we are going to use and or. Now we are going to discuss two of the most important formulas in Excel that you are going to use day in, day out. Okay. Now that formula is SUMIF. Now, for example, let's do one thing to explain SUMIF. Let's come back to this order star. Okay, and let me do one thing. Let me just take a small data set to explain you this formula. Okay, now suppose this is the data set that we have. Okay, this is the data set that I have. Now, how will I find the total sales? If I want to find the total sales, what I can do is I will say equal to, I will say equal to sum, and I will select this range. True. This will give me the total sale. That this is the total sale that was happened. So I have added up all these numbers. Okay. Now suppose if the question comes in, now I want to find total sales that happened in technology. Right? I want to find the total sales that happened in technology only. So I will add this number, and this number. I will add these, correct? Then what I will do is I will add these numbers. And same way, then wherever the technology is coming, I am going to add those numbers, right? So now if you technically see, what I'm doing is I am adding the numbers based on a condition that wherever the category is technology, I want to add only those sales, correct? I want to add only those sales where the sale is, where the category is technology. So that is how the formula sum if is created. Sum if means sum plus if. Sum plus if. That means you have to sum the numbers but based on a condition. So now what I want to do is I want to find the sum of sales based on technology. So what I will do is I will say equal to sum if. Now this is going to take three inputs from me. First is range. This is basically, so please don't do it right now. You can just take a look at it first and then you can all try it at your end. Range is the range on which the criteria has to be applied. Now this is the range, comma. What's the criteria in this? I want to apply the criteria that it should be technology. That wherever in this range I am getting technology, comma, I want to find the sum. This is where I have to find the sum. So I have selected, so I have to make sure that I select that range properly. It should be of same length. So I'm saying wherever category is technology, I want to sum up that number. That's it. And there I get. So total sales of technology is this. Okay. So please try this. Okay. Are you able to try it? Are you able to do it? So you have to say sum if. First of all, you select that range where the criteria is lying. You select that range. Then you apply the criteria for what value do you want to find the sum. And then for what thing do you want to find the sum? You want to find the sum for sales, profit, whatever values you have, you can apply them. If I come back to the orders tab, suppose I want to find the total sales in South region. Okay, I want to find the total sales in South region. So I write over here that I want to find the total sale in South region. So what I will do, I will say equal to sum if range. What is the range? Range is the column of region, that is this column, comma. What is the criteria? Criteria is South, comma. And what is the value that I have to add? That is column of sales. That is this. So again, this is the sale that happened in South region. Yep, are you able to find it? So now you see over here, in this formula, if you see right now, what I've done is I have written south as hard code, right? I've written the condition south. Can I not do something like if I remove south from here and I give the reference of this, that whatever is written over here, that is south. So I want in this range, I want to find the sum of whatever is written over here. So that will also do the same thing. I get the same number. Now the advantage is that if I change it to east, the number changes according to east. It is giving the sum of east now. If I write west, it gives me sum for west. If I write again south, it gives me the same for south. Okay. Now can you modify this formula, right? Now let me see who can do that, because that is where the main magic will lie in. I write east also and west also. How, what is the thing that I should change in this formula, that basically one single formula, if I copy and paste it down, it should give me the sum of total sales in east also and west also. So do I need to change anything or do I not need to change anything? I can simply copy and paste it.
Instead of AA28, it should be AA29.
Right? There should be A29, and we know that when we copy and paste the formula down, because we are going one row down, 28 will any which ways become 29. Correct?
Yeah.
If I copy and paste it down, so nothing I have to change, it becomes 29, and I paste it down, it becomes 30. So I get the sale of south, east, and west.
Okay. So that means nothing has to be changed.
Nothing has to be changed.
Okay.
The change we would have to make in that case, suppose I write this formula again. I say equal to sum if, okay, first is range, that is criteria range. Suppose I select the criteria range, that is this, up till here. See, previously what I was doing was, sorry, not this. Previously what I was doing was I was selecting the entire M column. But now I am selecting only up till where the data is. That is M1 to M995, comma. I am saying what is my criteria. My criteria is this, that the region should be south, comma, sum range. Now sum is again I am selecting from the starting value up till the last value. So now if you see over here, in this formula, what I did was, in the previous formula, I was selecting the complete M column. Complete means you select the entire column, starting up till end, all that 10 lakh rows. You select each and everything. But if you select only from the starting point and up to the point where the data is, like up till this point only, 995. So now what happens in the formula is, if you will take a look at it, now if I will copy and paste this formula, will I have to change something? Right? Because if you see now, if I'll copy this and paste it down, see, number are coming same, because right now the data is such. If you see now, in the initial formula, the range was from M1 to M995. And when I come down, it becomes M2 to M99996. So don't you think that the range has changed somewhere? And this range also R1 to R99995, that has also become R2 to R99996. That means the range has become starting from this point up till here. And when I'll further paste it, it will ignore this value and it will start from here up till here. Yep. Are you all with me on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if I paste it down again, you can again see the change has happened. It has become M3 to M99997 and R3 to R99997. So how can I ensure that this range will not change?
Freezing.
Freeze it. If I just press F4, I freeze this range and I freeze this range also. Now if I will paste it down, now the range is not changing. Only 28, 29, 30, that is changing, but not the other range. Clear? Okay. Now let us see who can do this question now. Okay. If you would, no, this is not that. Sure. See, let me give you a tricky question over here. Okay. Now, like just take a look at it. This is the sales value. All of you, please take a look at the question. Okay, this is the sales value. And this sale happened in South region. Okay, this sale, this transaction happened in the South region. And this transaction happened in the Central region. Okay, now I want all of you to calculate that if this sale was something that happened in, if this is a sale that has happened in South region, I want over here percent share. I want a percent share over here that, okay, in the South region, total sale was of 1000, maybe 1 lakh, 22,000 rupees sale happened over here in this transaction. So this is 22% of the sale. Same thing happens for this row, that okay, in this central region, so what percent of overall sales in central, what is the percentage of this share? So you have to calculate that. Can you do that now? Question clear? If the sale belongs to south, I want to calculate what percentage of share of sale was it for south region. If the sale belongs to west, you have to give me what percent of this sale was of the overall sale of west. This is how you have to give me the percentage share. So please try it. Yep. Are you able to do it? See, if we just try to do this, so there are two steps that you have to do. First of all, you have to figure out that okay, this is South region. So you have to calculate the total sale of South region, right? If you know what is the total sale of South region, then it's simple stuff, right? Like for example, I have already calculated that what was the total sale in South. If I'm giving an example, not that this is not the correct solution. If I paste that as a value, I'm saying this was the sale in South region. If I simply say equal to this sale divided by this sale, that is 6%, right? 6% of the sale of the South region. So, and now this is the West region, right? Sorry, Central region. This is the Central region. Now, what is the total sale of Central region? I want the total number of this. So after that, this step will come where I will be simply be able to calculate the percentage share, that is this number, divided by this number, which is the total sale. Am I clear on the solution? Right? So this is what we have to expect. So how can I get this number now? Can I not use SUMIF formula? If I say equal to SUMIF, okay, and what is the range? Criteria range is this column, comma. What's the criteria? Criteria is whatever criteria is written over here. If it's South region, I want the total sale of South, right? Comma. What is the sum range? Sum range is sales. So I get that same number. But now this is coming with the help of a formula. If I drag it down, so I get this is the sale of Central region. Now this is the sale of West region, 72547. And this is the same number that we calculated over here also, 72547, right? So according to the region, we are getting the total sale. Now I just have to copy and paste this formula and I'll get the percent share, right? 3%, 2%, 1%, and likewise, we can just increase the decimal places. So you can increase the decimal places from here and you will get it, the exact number. Okay. See, normal mathematics, right? We're just doing the normal mathematics, just applying those things in the Excel. Are you all trying this? Please let me know if you have any doubt on this. Okay. Now, same way, what you can do is if you want to, now if I come back to the next, so please let me know, right, if you have tried it or if you have any questions, so that I can move accordingly. Are you able to do it? Right, Divya, Deepa, Harsha, right, Vijay, Yash. Okay. See, now the next formula that we are going to discuss over here is, that is this sum if s. Okay, we have another formula that we have over here, that is sum if s. This was sum if. We have next one as sum if s. Now sum if means only summing the number based on one condition. Sum if s means finding the sum based on more than one condition. Okay, this is what you have in the sum ifs. Like for example, this was the data that we had created. Let me do one thing. Let me pick up the region also. Okay, so I have the region also. Now suppose what I want to do is, I want to find the total sale of technology in South region, right? Are you getting it? I have two conditions now. Like if I apply the filter and I have technology, I want to find the total sale of technology in South region. So in South region, this was the sale. South region, this was the sale. So we have two numbers, three numbers. So technology in South region. So these are the three numbers that I get. Right, these are three numbers that I want to add up, which comes out to be as 39388. So how will I do that? I will use sum if s. I'll say equal to sum if s, right? So now you can see, you can read the definition. It adds the cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. The only way to remember the formula is always study this. Now it is asking for the sum range. Sum range means, what do you want to sum? I want to sum the sales, comma, criteria range 1. What is the first criteria range? My first criteria range is region. And what should be the criteria in this? The criteria should be, the region should be south, comma. Then it is asking criteria range 2, that is category, comma. What is the category? That is technology. That's it. So because we only have two conditions, if you want to give more than two conditions, you can do that also. Now if I hit enter, I get the same number, 3988, 39388, right? So please try this. Right? I hope you are all able to get the concept and how we have applied it. Yep, are you able to do it? So you have to give first the sum range, criteria range 1, criteria inside it, criteria range 2, criteria inside it. Okay. If you now come over here, now can you find total sale of total sales in South region for office supplies? Can you please apply and find that? Total sales of office supplies in South region. Right? So if we apply it, if I will say equal to sum if s, because we have two conditions. What is the sum range? Sum is of sales, that is this, comma, criteria range 1. Right? What's the criteria range 1? That is the region, comma, what's the region? Region is South, comma, then you have category, comma, that is office supplies. And you can find it. Okay. See now, I would like to give you all a task. Let us see how you can approach it. See what you have to do is you have to create a report of this data. Out of this data, you have to create a complete report. And what that report has to be is, right, you can create something like this. Okay. And what you have to do is you can give a title at the top. Title something like a summary report. You can play with the formatting. Now this is something I will give you an option to play with the formattings and all. Okay. In the summary report, what you have to do is you have to give total sales. What was the total sales that happened? So I should be able to see that number over here. Whatever that number is. Suppose that number was $5,000. I'm just putting random number. Okay. Same way, you have to showcase total profit. Okay, whatever the total profit is. Then what you can do is you can create a small quick report that how many regions do you have? You have like, figure out what all regions you have. You have East, West, Central, South. So these are the regions, and you have the three categories: technology, office supplies, and furniture. Right? These are the three categories. So you have to find, you have to showcase the total sales over here. Whatever is the sales, you have to showcase those sales numbers over here. That what those sales numbers are. So that will give you a quick summary report being created right away. Are you all with me? Are you getting it? You have to
Yes.
make a summary
Yes.
report where you have to focus total sales, total profit, and the total sales happened across the regions, across the categories. And on top of that, if you think there is some more, anything more, anything else you can add in this report, which could be helpful. As you can see, there's a lot of data that you have inside this now. If you feel that there is something more that you can give in this, feel free to add that. Yep. Any questions on this? Anything that you feel is not clear? You all have to try this, and in case you struggle, definitely we will be discussing in the class as well, so that we can do. But please, everyone, please, all of you, give it a try. Okay, so anything you would like to discuss? And I'm just uploading this file also on that Google Classroom. Just 1 second. So I've posted that, the class file for today on the Google Classroom. So you can pick that from there. Okay. So on that Google Classroom, you will be able to find it. And yep. So anything you would like to ask before we close the session for today? Any feedback you would like to share? I mean, anything that can be improvised or something you feel is good, so I can take care of that thing. Okay, sure. So I think this is where we'll stop for today. So we'll connect on Monday, right? So yep, thank you everyone, and have a great weekend. And please give it a try. And I'll also upload the assignments also over here. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I will also be uploading 2 or 3 assignments for your practice.
Amit, just sorry, last minute. I just
Uh-huh.
this.
Yes,
I'm just is this. I'm just copying one thing in the chat. this is the right way to do this. Let's find this middle name. I'm just finding.
Okay, the middle name you were saying find space, that is the starting position. Right. So
Subtracting from the second to the first one.
so subtraction of the first space and the second space, right? And you'll also have to subtract one also from there, -1. Like, you have the name over here. I mean, it's totally correct. Suppose, you have a name like this, Rajkumar Goyal. So basically what will happen is, if you will say second space minus the first space, you will get one additional character. So you will get just an additional space, which will not be visible to you in the output, but it will be there. So just add -1 in that. Okay, like let me just show you where I'm saying. I'm just copying your formula. Okay, this is the formula that you have written. Okay, so in the last over here, just add -1. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is taking the.
It will not give that additional space.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay then. Okay, class. See you on Monday now. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Amit.
Yeah, thank you for the session. Bye all.
Bye.